The Rolex Explorer 1 is what many consider to be the perfect Rolex, specifically the 1016. However, taste is subjective. One might consider the Explorer perfect, while others might not. An Alanganzuna Saxonia, for example, is a perfect timepiece in my opinion, although many might consider it quite boring. The new Explorer 36 is one of the most anticipated updates in Rolex's current lineup. Although fans of the brand had no idea when they were going to get it, those who know Rolex's history knew it was only a matter of time. On April 7, 2021, Rolex introduced the new Explorer lineup just in time for the 50th anniversary of the collection. The new 36 comes in two variants, one in two-tone, which is quite controversial, and finally we have the watch in front of us, the 12427T, the stainless steel model. Big thank you to David SW for sponsoring this video and providing this watch in for review. David SW is a trusted independent dealer in Orlando, Florida. They have a huge selection of watches from Rolex, Patek, AP, Richard Mille, and many more. Now let's take a closer look at the technical specifications and details of this new timepiece. The new 12427T has some significant upgrades from the older model. The case size comes in at 36mm wide, 19mm strap size. The lug-to-lug distance is 45.5mm, which means top to bottom. Now the older model had also a 36mm case, but the strap size was 20mm and the lug-to-lug distance was 44mm, so it was smaller. Now of course there are many factors that contribute to the wearability of the piece. The older model does have a strap size of 20mm, but the new one has 19mm, giving it a more refined and nicer taper that makes the watch appear slimmer. The bracelet itself tapers from 19mm to 14mm, which is quite small. Although I will say the 14mm clasp does feel solid and sturdy, unlike vintage pieces. One major difference you receive with the new Explorer 1 is the caliber 3230, a manufactured in-house caliber by Rolex, and you could find the family of the 32 movement in all of their new watches. In fact, the 3230 could be found in many different models, such as the new No Date Submariner. Now this movement is precise to -2 to +2 seconds per day. The oscillator has a paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring, paraflex shock absorbers, and the bidirectional self-winding system gives you an overall power reserve of approximately 70 hours. Now of course in terms of durability, you get that oyster steel. Rolex models in general are known to be one of the most durable watches in the mechanical watch industry. You get a sapphire crystal, you get a 100 meters of water resistant, but you also get a twin lock system, which really does secure your watch from getting damaged from any water getting into the timepiece. The new Explorer 2021 is a watch I didn't expect I was going to love. Sure, I've expressed that I liked it, but beyond that, having experienced it now in hand, I've developed a bit of a crush for this piece. Sort of an I get it now moment. I couldn't care less about the history of the summit to Mount Everest. That has very little to do with why this watch appealed to me. In fact, the hype behind the history is what pulled me away from it in the first place. But now that I have it in hand, the watch is near perfection to me personally. Many might consider the 36mm size a bit too small, and it is. Given the lug-to-lug distance of 45mm, if I took this watch off the bracelet, it would wear a little bit too small on me. My personal opinions on the new Rolex Explorer 12427T. My honest opinions on this watch, when I first saw the release, I was a bit skeptical. I thought I liked it, but not enough to own it. After handling it and having it in hand, I've decided that I absolutely love this watch and it has become my favorite Rolex they've ever released. In my opinion, it is one of the best wearable Rolexes in their entire lineup. The Explorer 36, while many might consider it small, with the bracelet I found it very comfortable in my 6.5-inch wrist. Without getting too much into the history, the Explorer was made for people who are adventuring, mountaineers. Trust me, I am a big fan of traveling and adventuring, and the last thing you want is a huge watch on your wrist. You want something comfortable, and the Explorer 36 in my opinion provides that perfectly. The watch itself is absolutely fantastic and I would highly recommend it to anyone. Thank you so much guys for watching, and now a quick word from today's sponsor, David SW. When considering your next luxury timepiece, David SW provides one of the greatest watch buying experiences in all of Florida. Located in the heart of Orlando, make sure to head over there to purchase some rare timepieces from brands like Rolex, AP, Patek, Richard Mille, and many more. If you aren't able to visit, make sure you go online to speak with a watch specialist so they could assist you with any questions you may have. The expert team over at David SW will make sure you have a flawless buying experience.